Hi everyone, and welcome to a brand new blog. What are we going to talk about today? Well, Bob and I are going to talk about what we've been up to. Me personally, well, I've had a few down days and I've talked about that in a little clip and posted elsewhere, and about why I'm feeling that way, perhaps, maybe, possibly. As for Bob had a full service this week, and to celebrate that I took her out and cleaned her today. So what are we going to talk about today? What are we sitting in here about to talk about today? Well, window coverings. I want to talk about window coverings. When I bought the van, the initial thought was that we would just use it to transport the camping equipment, the large tent and everything that came with it. But then we decided we'd make it into a day van, so that if we went away on short trips, we'd be able to just, camp overnight in it and not have any worries. Hence I built this little unit here, which can be seen in one of my other videos if you want to go back and have a look at that. We were thinking about coverings for the windows. What could we do? Well, initially Jan and I thought about curtains. This isn't a curtain, this is in fact a table mat, but we'd thought about curtains, and we'd thought about something like this, maybe nice to pull across, and it looked a bit retro, a lot like the old camper style day vans of years gone by. Jan and I both love the 70s, the bright colours of the 70s and such like, and that was the initial plan. But the fixings up here wouldn't quite fit in with what we wanted, and I didn't really want a window, the curtains inside the window, because they would have to come in here if we wanted them to block out the majority of the light, and I didn't want the curtains in there. I want them more mounted on the outside, so they gave that retro feel. There are made especially for this van, you'll notice there's little poppers all over. If you buy an Alphard, you'll notice there's little poppers, and they are designed for clipping retrofitted blinds and curtains up. So we could have had some made and used those. There are, of course, and if you're one of the lucky people who managed to get one of these, there are pre-fitted in the factory blinds that pull up, that Toyota fitted to some of the vans. Unfortunately we didn't. I did think about looking out to see if I could find a set. They're very rare, cost an arm and a leg to get them from Japan, and I didn't really want to do too much damage if I could help it. There's also some which fix on blinds and they pull across this way, and they're quite handy and quite nice, but we went down a different route. And to start off with, I would like to say it was for price, but it wasn't, because these were not cheap. And before we get into that, I just want to say that I'm not sponsored by anyone, and let's face it, I've only got 12 subscribers, and who's going to sponsor someone who only has 12 people watches things? I do have to say I have more people that watch that, but they don't actually subscribe. So if you're one of them, think of it, because it helps me out, gives me a big ego boost, but it doesn't cost you anything. And let's face it, if it comes up on your page and you don't want to see it and you are a subscriber, you don't have to watch it, but you might find something that you actually like amongst it. So back to the I won't call them blinds, we'll call them blackouts. It is a big bag. It is a big bag. And when I say it was 150 quid, you might think, gosh. But what you've got to think is the Alphard has a heck of a lot of windows in it. And in the kit is everything for every single window. And it does totally black out. I will say that ahead of time. Right, let's just have a root through and pull one out. Right, here we go. So they're double-sided, silver one side, black the other. So what's the good thing about them? Well, they're padded, they're thermally insulated, they are incredibly well made. They suction on, so you just push them up to the window. That was a bit of luck, I found the one that exactly goes here, isn't it? And it suctions in place. I haven't put it in properly, you can see light out, but when it is in, it fits in perfectly and blocks every single bit of light out the window. You might see light coming in through the through where the suction pads is. Well, you can get little plastic, it comes in the kit, little plastic stickers that go over there and that blocks the light out. We've never found it necessary. We've found that it's perfectly okay with the way it is. Reflective. So on really, really hot days and hot evenings, when you want the van cooler, if you put these in, the sun's reflected away. But if you're out camping, say, early spring or early autumn, when we have really, really warm days but cold nights, put the black up against the window and have the silver in. The black will attract the heat, warm the inside of the van up, and the silver will reflect it back in and keep it in the van. I think that's incredible. There is a drawback with them, and the drawback is the size of the package. Yep. I mean, it's almost the size of the awning pack for when we put the awning up outside. I will include details in the description below of where we got them. We got them off of Amazon, and the company that manufactures them in a wide range of colours. You can actually choose, you know, designs, colours, double-sided, whatever you want. They will happily do it for you. So I hope you've enjoyed this little look at the blackouts that we bought for our van and a little bit of information about why we did it. If you find this useful, give me the thumbs up. Why don't you continue to watch the various ones that I've done in the past and the ones that I'm going to do in the future, where it talks through about the changes we're going to make to the van, the changes we have already made to the van, and our trips away in it this year. And maybe when we're out and about, if you are one of the people that watch this, you might see me and you might think, is that Matt? Look at the shirt, gotta be. Take care all, see you soon.